Malawian boy.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, guys? Sorry, I don't look that great, but it is what it is. I didn't really want to be doing a lot of videos. Like things for me haven't been that great, but it is what it is. Life is life, isn't it? But today, a few people have told me that it's sometimes good to not focus on the bad and do something you love, something obviously that will keep you distracted from what's going on in your life. So I've been watching the transfer news. I've been seeing people celebrating, people are happy, which we're supposed to do because as City fans, things were not great. This season has been very difficult for every City fan, and things went from the top where everything was high, everything was exciting. Won the league, beat Arsenal to the league. We were all laughing at Jurgen Klopp giving up on Liverpool, thinking Liverpool are finished, and then we thought we'll go to the summer, we'll sign, we'll do well. Even though some people in the fan base were giving warnings to everybody saying we have to be careful. Rodri is one man. If Rodri gets injured, this team ends up in a very difficult situation. But right now, look, City are responding. Is it too late or is it too early? As we speak right now, if you can look at the news feed, it looks like, I don't know how to say his name. The defender from is it Lens? I think he's coming over to Man City. I think that's the one that's more certain. The defender from Brazil, I think negotiations are on the way. And according to most of the people who are posting, it looks like these three people, Omar, that's the only name I know how to pronounce. I forgot the other defender. If you can put that in the comments on how to pronounce your man's name, the first guy's name, I would appreciate that. And then maybe the name of the Brazilian. But it looks like Man City are going to sign this trio. Now, what we're going to talk about in this video is why are they signing defenders? Because according to City fans, we have been waiting for a Rodri replacement, and we can all see from the football we're playing that we are lacking in midfield. But why defenders? We know that Omar, when Alvarez left, some people thought Alvarez, when he left, we didn't have to replace him. Which was weird, because if you think about it, Alvarez was very important in this team. So Omar, it looks like the signing is also happening. I saw a video yesterday. I don't know who was speaking, but there were people were asking a certain individual who was in the know, saying, "Is Omar still in Germany?" They were like, "Omar is not in Germany at the moment," and the person was smiling. So it looks like there is a deal, according to, is it Pepo Pano, who was very reliable, if you think about it, because I remember when there was that saga of Rice to City and Rice to Arsenal, Pepo Pano was the only one. Fab, David were saying City might hijack. Pepo Pano said no, he's going to Arsenal because the deal is done. He's going to Arsenal because he's been talking to Arsenal for a while. So he also is reporting that Omar is coming to City for £45 million with add-ons, of course. So we'll talk about these three players, because I even though, as I said, shit hasn't been great for me, or shit is not great for me at the moment, I still have been studying these players and seeing what they're going to bring to the team. Nick, how you doing? YSK, how you doing? Happy New Year to you. Nick, all three already agreed. Yeah, all three, I think they're on their way to Manchester. How are you doing? Jack, I don't know how to answer that question at the moment. I don't know how to answer that question at the moment. I wouldn't be lying to people saying I'm doing well, to be honest with you. That would be a lie at the moment. It wouldn't be great. I've had a very big setback in my life, and that setback has just crashed over me over. But it is what it is. Life is life. You don't peak, as they say, you don't know who's picked. It's not like you're unfortunate in life. It's just how it is. Some of us, you can be born in a certain way. Some things will happen to you, others will not. It is what it is. You cannot wish it on other people, but if it happens to you, you just have to accept it and say, this is how life is going to be, and this is how my life is going to be. Anyway, let's talk about this. So let's talk about the Brazilian defender. There's a bit of a difference in this. I know people are asking, the same I was asking, why are we signing these defenders? Our defenders are going of age. Ake is 31 years old. Akanji is 30 years old. John Stones is 31 or 30 years old and gets injured a lot. Ake gets injured a lot. Ruben Diaz is 29, if I'm not wrong. I think he's 29 years old, isn't it? Ruben Diaz is 29 years old. To think just years ago he was 24. Time moves so fast. Our defenders are aging. The only defender we have that's young is Josko. And Josko hasn't played centre-back. And sometimes in a league like this, you need strong, energetic, and very aggressive centre-backs. Our centre-backs were losing pace. Our centre-backs were losing the aggressiveness. That's why signing this Brazilian centre-back, who a lot of teams seem to have been going after, and if you research and watch, and if you watch how he plays and the way he's aggressive, the way he carries the ball, obviously he's got a weakness. The weakness he has is he's not good in the air, and his physicality, I would say he's not that physical. Funny thing is, he's not actually physical. He's actually more technical, very fast, very good at defending 1v1, and doesn't go to the floor very easily. And then guess what? We have signed the other guy, who I don't know his name, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Kosovnoch? I don't know, whatever. If there's a way to pronounce his name, please let me know in the comments. The other guy who we've signed, the other center back, he is more aggressive. He is more of an aggressive, in your face, aggressive in the air. So it looks like when City were signing these two center backs, or City were talking to these center backs, or researching these two center backs, they knew that one of them is not very good in the air, he's not very aggressive, not physically good, but he's very technical on the ball, very good at defending, and the other one is very physical, in your face, good in the air, and that's the combo they're going for. So if you think about this, that means in a few seasons, it's going to be these two center backs with Josko, maybe at left back. If it's Pep Guardiola, if it's not Pep Guardiola, I'm pretty sure somebody else. So it's Kosanov. Is it Kosanov? Is it Kusanov or Kosanov? Yeah, Kosanov. Kosanov. I'll just be calling Kusanov. Okay, Kusanov. For now, Kusanov. Thank you very much, Nick. There. Big up to you, MCFC. So Kosanov. And who's the Brazilian? I had the names. The names. The thing is, I'm doing this on my phone, but I had the names on my laptop and everything set. So these two center backs, you can see the thing they have that's common is good at defending and very good at pace. Because what's been hurting City recently, pace. Every team that gets in behind, we get done. So Victor is the one from or Vita or Victor or Vita, or you can call him Vita. Vita is from or Vitor. Is that why we say Brazilians? Is that Vitor? Vitor is from Brazil, and Kosonov is the other one. These two centre backs have good pace, so that's why Man City has signed this because of pace. And as I say, most people are saying these deals are done. It's just a matter of ironing a few things. The medical for Kosonov, the medical is done. He's just gonna have to do his medical. I'm pretty sure he'll be announced by the end of this week. Vita, I think they're still negotiating, but I think it's also done. I think the bid was submitted. The bid for Omar, who is also going to be the second striker. He can also play left, right, number 10, and he can play as a lone striker. The deal has been agreed at 45, according to the reports, and with add-ons. So that's 45 million pounds, by the way, and then with add-ons, which is a good deal. All we're waiting for is, as City fans, is are we going to stop here, or we're going to actually get a CDM? Because regardless, these signings, which I think will strengthen the team. By the way, Kosanov, I don't know if any of you guys are aware. If you research him, he can play as a CDM. So Kosanov or Kusanov can play as a CDM. So I don't know if maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's why we're not signing a CDM for now. Maybe we will deploy him as a CDM. You can go search after watching this video. He can also play as a CDM. But Omar is the one I'm interested in. Why am I interested in Omar? Because we've been struggling. Our wingers have been starving. Our wingers haven't been producing. Our striker, when he doesn't produce, there's no goals. Our midfielders are not scoring. I am not a hater. I said this before. I said all I do is watch football. And when I watch football, the reason why I started this channel is to just talk football. And sometimes when I meet people, I let them have their opinion. Like the name of the channel is True City Fan, or Where Opinions Matter. Some people don't like the opinions, and when they don't like the opinions, they start saying you're a hater, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not from Manchester, so we won't follow you, you don't speak for us. But it's not about that. This is all about football. Football can be watched by anybody, but you can also listen from somebody who is not from Manchester or is not from the area about football. Because if you talk about football, what have I been saying for so long? I said we can't keep deploying players in positions they don't belong, and they are not aggressive that much to score. Players like Bernardo Silva being deployed as right wingers, yes, it works in certain games. It's important in certain games. But what's the more likelihood of Bernardo Silva, Grealish to score? They do what they're good at is holding on to the ball. What they're good at is creating. That's what these players were doing in the previous teams. Yet when they came here, I know Pep Guardiola deployed them and said, oh, here they are. And all I was saying, myself and other people, is we do need people who have a killer instinct. And the thing about people like Alvarez, even though Alvarez was hated by many people when he was playing as a midfielder, is regardless of the fact that he was asked to play as a number 10, he was asked to play as a number 8 sometimes, as a midfielder, as a free-flowing midfielder. Alvarez brought us a goal threat. That's what Alvarez did. And look, ever since he left, how we've been struggling to score. Yet he's at Atletico Madrid, scoring goals for Atletico Madrid, scoring goals for Argentina. So Omar, I knew somebody like Omar was bound to come. I knew that Man City, especially Pep Guardiola, with the starvation of the goals we have, he's going to sign somebody. That's why Man City, regardless that Frankfurt have been saying we're not going to sell in this window, or they have decided to sign him right away and bring him in this window. Because if we don't bring somebody like Omar to this team, we're going to struggle. The thing about signing players like Omar, or signing players who are in top form, like the two defenders, like Vito and Kosanov, these players, because they are in top form and these players are energetic, these players are right now in having that. They have the, as Pep Guardiola, they can smell that we're hungry. They're hungry players. When they come to a team like Man City right now, that's starving, a team that's been depleted, a team that needs a difference. You need sparks like this. These old players we have in our team, they need players like Omar to come in, start scoring the goals, bringing belief back. You remember when Salah went to Liverpool, when Salah built belief in that Liverpool team? This is what you need sometimes. You just need a spark. Yeah, I just did those just research I did that he can actually play as a CDM. I don't know if we're gonna deploy him as a CDM, but if you go to most of his other areas he can play, Kosanov can actually play as a CDM. So I don't know if maybe he is the option they're gonna be playing right now, but you never know. He might deploy Akanji in CDM. You never know. He might deploy. City made an offer and they couldn't refuse. Yeah, that's what you do. You have to make offers that can refuse. So guys, don't doubt these three signings. These three signings will be pivotal because let's be honest, things were looking peak. Things were looking bad for City. Things were not looking great. And us being aggressive like this in this market is actually great. And I don't think we're going to stop here. I think we might actually see them going after a CDM. Douglas Luiz has been mentioned. Some people say he's not good enough. I think he is good enough. I think he's better than what we have right now. I think Douglas Luiz is actually better than what we have currently in this squad. I wouldn't mind signing him on a permanent. Let him come in on the permanent. Douglas Luiz was one of the best defending midfielders in the league before he went to Juventus. Let's not forget that. He was actually one of the good ones. Yeah, that's the name I was looking for. Big up to you. Big up to you. So Douglas Luiz was one of the best defensive midfielders in this league before he left for Juventus with his girlfriend. But I hope we sign him. If there is an opportunity to sign him, I hope we sign him. And the links are very strong. Even Sky is reporting it and other good reliable resources. Obviously, let's talk about Kyle Walker leaving. I know a few people are disappointed that Walker is leaving. I think sometimes in life, certain things have to end at a certain point. I personally think Walker had to leave 2 seasons ago. That's just me. I think the time when we won the treble and Walker did not play most of the minutes in the Champions League, and we went unbeaten in the Champions League, and we played a back four of Akanji, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, and Ake. I think that particular moment when Walker put in a transfer request, I think he had to leave then. I think that's when Walker had to leave. I don't know if anybody agrees with me in the comments. Some people get offended, but it is what if it's fact. I think by that time, it was signs that Walker was done at Man City. I think he was done at Man City, and Pep Guardiola could see it. But I think the fact that at that moment in time, you do notice that after the treble, even Chikia said a lot of players were asking to leave. So maybe that's the reason why they wanted to return a few players. They wanted to keep a few players, especially the senior players like Walker. They still wanted to keep him in the team because that time they did not want to lose Mahrez. They did not want to lose Laporte. And then Walker also leaving the dressing room. I think it was too much, but I just think Walker had to leave that season. And I think could have been better for him, could have been better for both parties. Because let's be honest, we do appreciate what Walker has done for Man City, but we can't continue saying, oh, the reason why Walker has to be here is if we play Madrid, he has to pocket Vinicius. We can't be doing that. We have to move forward. Many things you have to move forward with. The same thing as I said, even KDB, the time when we were linked with Wirtz and Musiala, I said it's good to bring these players now, because if we depend on players like KDB, these players are in their 30s, and you can't really be putting all that pressure on somebody who's 33, 34 years old like Gundogan to still run and to still perform at the high level, at the ability they were performing before. That's the reason why right now, as City fans, we are a bit disappointed, wondering why Gundogan is not performing as the same Gundogan he was when he was like, 30 years old. He's not 30 years old. He's not 27. He's not 29 years old anymore. Gundogan is 34 years old. These days, the football is for young people. There's players who have put speed. Teams have invested because of Man City investing like this. The way we invest aggressively, other teams have also invested aggressively. I had a conversation with somebody because we're talking about transfers here. I remember we were laughing at Nottingham Forest when they were investing in young talent. Nottingham Forest were investing in players and were picking up every player with potential. And people were laughing, saying Nottingham Forest is just buying for the sake of buying. But look at this now. Rewind now, Nottingham Forest is sitting third or second in the league. I'm not surprised by that. You know why? Because they invested in players who are young, energetic, very physical players, very physical teams. Yes, they were getting dunked on, but the players will eventually gel. And guess what happens sometimes in life? Even in a company, the older people get older and the younger people employed are younger. They also mature and are ready to take over. That's the reason why some of these teams are able to compete and beat some of the teams that are so-called big teams, because these teams invested in youngsters. They invested in youngsters. While Man City, we were clinging on to older midfielders. Like, look at the fact that there was that statement that when Enzo Fernandez was available for 15 million, and a City official made a statement saying we didn't have space for him because there was other midfielders. Yes, there were, but they were 31, 30 years old. You can't tell me you are not smart enough to start investing. That's why I feel like Man City, for the past few seasons, they were too relaxed, too overconfident. They didn't feel the need to start replacing the Gundogans, the KDBs with quality. They thought, you know what, these players can take us for more seasons, and then we will invest in younger players later. But now look at them. They are aggressive. They know we have to. Our defense, somebody once told me, and I didn't believe them when he said, your defense is actually running down. They've been run down. Your defense have been run down. Look at their age. Look at how many trophies they've won you. So that's why City are signing these three players, because first of all, we have to replace Alvarez. We have to replace John Stones. John Stones, I think this might be his last season. I wouldn't be angry if I hear it's John Stones' last season. Nathan Ake never stays fit, so I don't know about him. The only one at the back who you can keep, and maybe the only ones would be Josko Akanji and Ruben Diaz. The rest, I think they have to go. Walker has to go, and he wants to go now. He's negotiating with AC Milan, and it looks like he's going to Italy. And he's put a transfer request because I think deep down he knows that myself at the high level, I'm done. Because if you look at these stats online, where it's showing that every time we play with Kyle Walker in the team, the defeats we've had, minus Kyle Walker not being in the team, the wins we've had. So it is what it is. And I never agreed. All respect to Kyle Walker, and I love him, and he's been a very good footballer for this club. And Kyle Walker, all the best, man. You've given this club everything, and big up to you. It's just, I think giving you the captainship, I think it was a bit too much for him, because there's always a lot of stuff happening outside Kyle Walker's life. So I think making him a captain, because as a captain, you're not focused on your own. When Kyle Walker was focused on himself, only playing football, it was better. I'm not trying to say he's been a bad captain. There's a reason why maybe they voted him as captain, but sometimes it is what it is. Mistakes can be made. But all the best to Kyle Walker. But I can't wait for this trio, Omar, Kosanov, and Vitor, or I don't know how we say name, Vitor Reis from Brazil, to come to City. I think they're going to strengthen this City team. And guys, if there's more transfers, we'll speak on it. But this is what I wanted to just say. I wanted to just talk about how this is going to start. But let me focus on Omar for a minute. I've been watching him for a minute. When he comes in, I think he's going to go straight into this lineup. Why am I saying that? As I said, this lineup is starved of goals. Omar can play left, right, and he's very creative, and he creates his own goals. He's very good at free kicks. We need something to change in this team. Even set pieces. We need somebody to be taking the set pieces for a change. Maybe Savinho, because Savinho used to take set pieces at Girona, because even the set pieces from KDB and Foden, sometimes they're not very good, not very great. We need a spark. And these three players that have signed for City, and the deals according to many are done. These three players might spark our our season. I'm not saying we will win the league, but at least we have hope in the FA Cup. At least we have hope of the Champions, because we're yet to play PSG, and PSG look very good, and City need players like this, hungry players, young players. Guys, appreciate for you joining me this evening. Please like the video. As I said, things are not easy at the moment. Obviously, most of you will find out exactly what's going on with me. You do know I was already in a fight. Now I'm in a more serious fight, and it is what it is. I say it's not bad luck. I am not saying it's somebody's fault or anything. It is what it is. Life sometimes does these things to you, and these things happen. All you have to do is face them head on. I have to just pray and put my hope in prayer. And obviously, at this point in time, I am doing a lot of research, searching for alternative ways on how you can help yourself in situations like this, trying to find hope, so that I can be there for my daughter, I can be there for my son, I can be there and be with everybody, watch Man City have a laugh and be together. But it is what it is, guys. So anyway, appreciate, enjoy your afternoon. Guys, all I can tell you is in life, enjoy every minute. Enjoy every minute, and always look after your loved ones, and don't complain, don't lock yourself up. If you've got something you want to do in your life, I would advise you to do it, because you never know what life how life can spin things for you, you know. So enjoy your life and always put a smile. And if you've got issues in this world with somebody, you've got a grudge, it's not worth it in this world. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Every day when I'm in the oncology center, in the cancer center, I look at people on their deathbeds. I look at people tell me stories that things are never worth it. They regret the regrets they have in their life, of things that they could have fixed when they were 100%, or fixed before they were given a period of time to live. So guys, always look out for each other, love your loved ones, and appreciate what God has given you, and appreciate the life you have. Don't take it for granted. Trust me, waking up in the morning, we all take things for granted. We all think it's just simple, but it's a blessing in itself. But anyway, guys, enjoy these signings. City fans, you deserve this. We all deserve this. It was a bit of a struggle. We deserve this, and hopefully we sign more. And I'll see you. If anything develops, where obviously these three players are in, one of them, there's rumors that two of them are in Manchester, but if these players are holding the City jersey, I'll come back live, and we'll discuss more on the signings. And you never know, there's rumors that there's a defensive midfielder that's been looked at by Man City from Lazio. So hopefully we're looking at him, and Douglas Luiz. So thank you very much, guys. Enjoy yourself and enjoy your afternoon, and God bless.